Good day again, BPA students, my public administration students of Occidental Mindoro State College. So we are now in the lesson 3 of the program administration, and in this particular video we'll be discussing two lessons, which are first the programs for the public by the government and the source of program ideas. So these last two topics will be the last topics, of course, and we are going to proceed with the assessment after the discussion of these topics. So you are free to submit your questions in the video or in the link of the YouTube video so that we could talk about it, and hopefully I could answer all your questions. So now, programs for the public by the government. So we have already discussed that um, programs arise from policies, and these policies and programs are a result of the identification of problems or issues in the society. So, government programs, either by the national or the local government, focuses on the delivery of basic services, especially in the upliftment of the quality of life of its citizens. So, as public administration students, it is important that all government programs and policies and actions of the government is, of course, an expression or manifestation of the will of the people. Ito yung mga kagustuhan ng mga tao, ito yung mga pangangailangan ng mga citizen. So these are the most important role of the government, especially in the Philippines. Normally, policy adoptions give birth to programs as one of its implementation conditions. So I have previously mentioned this in the previous lessons natin, na kung saan the policy gives legitimacy to programs. The implementing agencies, such as executive departments and local governments, are given the responsibility to spearhead the implementation of a policy through program. So, in order for programs and policies to be executed well, so, syempre, dapat maayos at maganda ang implementing agencies. Dapat malinaw ang kanilang roles and responsibilities at hindi dapat in conflict with the other government agencies. So, the most important partners of implementing agencies in the execution and implementation of programs are, of course, the local governments, such as the barangay and the private sector, and of course, the community. So why is it important? Because the monitoring and evaluation, the result of the monitoring and evaluation, the input of the monitoring and evaluation, nanggagaling yan sa baba. At ano yung mga nasa baba? Yung mga tao, the public, the community, the local government. And in the implementation, hindi lamang kakayanin lagi ng resources ng gobyerno. Halimbawa, kulang ang pera, kulang ang technical resources, kulang ang manpower. So, kukuha sila ng assistance galing sa private sector. So, the partners of implementing agencies or the government are first the local government, the community, and the private sector. The will of the people is expressed in laws and policies, of course. For these policies to be executed, especially if it contains the delivery of basic services, it must give birth to programs and projects. So this is very important that these government projects and programs, in order for this one to be implemented successfully, there should be cooperation between the community, the private sector, the local government, the non-government organizations, the international international organizations such as the UN, such as the World Health Organization. So these are all necessary for the implementation of programs for the public by the government. So let us proceed with the topic 3, or the source of program ideas. So habang kayo ay mga estudyante pa lamang, you are already exposed to different issues and problems in a society. So let's say, for example, you want to create a very simple program of your own. So these are the source of ideas. Saan tayo kukuha, saan tayo huhugot maliban doon sa mga societal issue na iyon. Number 1, existing societal problems and issues. So again, gaya ng sinasabi natin, programs are designed to resolve existing issues and problems. So kung may kinalaman yan sa drugs, then tokhang program. Pag may kinalaman yan sa, let's say for example, mental health, then may mental health program. Pag yan ay may kinalaman sa mga may hirap, then may 4Ps. Okay? Pag yan ay may kinalaman sa edukasyon, then K-12 program. So these are bago nagkaroon ng 4Ps, nag-identify muna sila ng mga problema na kung saan malaki ang porsyento ng mga Pilipino, pamilyang Pilipino mahirap. So kaya nagkaroon ng 4Ps. Maraming mga Pinoy ang may mental health problems, kaya may mental health programs. Maraming mga Pinoy, ayon sa pag-aaral ito marami sa mga marami sa mga Pinoy ang walang access sa healthcare program. So, may universal healthcare program. So, existing societal problems and or issues. Next one is the benchmarking and best practices. This is very important as public administration students. Sinasabi lagi na ang pangungopia daw ay hindi isang magandang ugali, but in the government, it is expected and it is accepted. When we say benchmarking, so you go to other agencies, you go to other program implementers, you go to other countries, mag-observe ka sa mga programa nila at i-adapt mo. So it is adapt and adapt. Program implementers usually benchmark from best practices of other agencies, organizations, and even states. This way, coming up with the program will be less time consuming, as the results of benchmarking activity could serve as a baseline for the program formulation. So let's say, for example, in the formulation of the universal healthcare programs, bago ito binuo, nagkaroon muna ng benchmarking ang ating mga health officials and the implementors and formulators of the universal healthcare program. Saan? Sa best practice ng Cuba. Cuba is one of the most well-known country na effective ang kanilang healthcare program. Kaya naging basihan ito ng maraming programa ng gobyerno, hindi lamang ng Pilipinas, kundi ng iba ding mga bansa. So yun ang use ng benchmarking and best practices. So these are two of the most common source of program ideas kung sakaling gusto mong mag-isip ng simpleng programa bilang isang estudyante. Okay, so thank you for listening.